You guys remember spoof movies? I swear to God, it seems like these things have just stopped coming out entirely. But I remember there was a period when I was a kid where it's like 15 of these things would come out every single year. Started with films in the 80s and 90s like Blazing Saddles and Airplane, and it got to the point where it was just so oversaturated. These things were everywhere. And I've been weirdly nostalgic for them recently, probably because I remembered that Vampires Suck existed. Oh my god, dude, Vampires Suck so bad. And it sort of spurred me on to want to talk about some of these things that I remembered watching as a kid. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about a few of them and see if maybe we can sniff out why these things went the way of the dodo. And that's basically all the information you need. All right, let's go. Scary Movie. This movie, believe it or not, is actually pretty good. It released in the year 2000 from the Wayans brothers. And I like these guys fine. I think when they really try, they can, I mean, they've been involved in some shit, don't get me wrong, but they've also been involved in some really good things. So I saw Scary Movie when I was like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years old, and I thought it was so funny. Although as a child, I actually liked the second one better, which is fucking hilarious because the second one is so bad. Scary Movie holds up to this day. It's a satire of the original Scream movie, which was already pretty campy and silly and out there, so taking that concept to like its most natural conclusion makes sense to me. And I had a good time with this one. I mean, it's obviously not smart comedy. That's something you can find in any number of these spoof movies, but it is funny. It is silly, and it does seem like all the actors are having a really good time. And the deeper into this we get, even that becomes like hard to come by. I like that it seems like there's a wide variety of gags they wanted to do, from like silly slapstick to like straight up 2000's raunch. But either way, it holds up to this day. There are a couple scenes that I actually still thought were like really funny, and that especially took me aback. It's cool too because you can tell that, you know, none of these people knew that this was going to evolve into this ridiculous, enormous franchise. It borderline just became the thing they were making fun of with these franchise slasher movies. But this first one is completely disconnected from that. It feels like its own thing. And it also feels like everyone was having a really good time because it's shooting dumb shit with your buddies, you know, with a Hollywood budget. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd recommend this one. If it's been a while or you haven't seen it at all before, give it a watch, because I actually thought it was pretty good. Scary Movie gets like, I don't know, like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I'm indecisive. So Scary Movie became insanely popular after its release, spawning not only many sequels, like I mentioned, to itself, but also this sort of second renaissance of spoof movies. Because as I mentioned before, there were a lot of them in the 80s and 90s. This sort of silly, ridiculous, over-the-top kind of comedy was really commonplace at that point. But then again, it sort of fizzled out as time went on. And Scary Movie reignited the fire so that I mean, a million of these things were coming out. Jump forward a few years, and some of the people who had actually worked on Scary Movie make this movie Epic Movie. And, oh man, you guys. I first saw Epic Movie, again, when I was a young boy. I loved it. I thought it was so funny, probably because I was a child of the 2000s, and they were satirizing all of these properties that I was familiar with. It was really easy back then. But I thought Epic Movie was awesome. I had such good memories of it. I thought, there's no way this movie is a giant pile of shit and actually all the jokes are really bad. Oh wait, that's exactly what this is. Yeah, Epic Movie sucks, the big one. And this is actually a good time to bring up that this is something that a lot of these spoof movies have in common, is just sucking fucking donkey balls. This movie is so bad. And this is basically what I'm going to say about a lot of these movies. All the jokes are super low-hanging fruit. The movie is super low budget, but it's not funny enough to make up for that or make it into a point. The parodies are so baseline, like they have nothing of substance or nothing to say that hasn't been said before. The cast is kind of funny, like there's a couple actors that you really wouldn't expect to be here, but none of them seem like they give a single shit about the material, because what material? Oh yeah, no, this movie sucked my dick. I was really disappointed, honestly, because I actually sincerely had really good memories with this one, and no. avoid this one. I don't even have that much to fucking say about it. They just make fun of Harry Potter and Willy Wonka and fucking Narnia and all these other movies that were popular in the 2000s. Who gives a shit? It's like I have nostalgia for it because I remember when these movies were popular, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck, dude. Let's move on. Epic movie gets like a 2 out of 10. This movie sucked my weenie right off. And it also hurt and it chafed. Ow. Vampires suck. Okay, like I said, this was the entire reason I wanted to make this video, because I saw this movie one time when it came out when I was a child, and then never again. I basically completely forgot about it for until now. So what did I think about this movie that started this whole train? I did not think it was very good. Yeah, big fucking shock. This movie also sucks so bad. And I feel bad because I wish I had more to say, but there's nothing. There's nothing to sink my fucking teeth into here. It's a parody of the first 2.5 Twilight movies. And who cares? Oh my God. None of these actors give a shit. None of them have good comedic timing. This movie looks like fucking garbage, man. And I'm literally struggling to come up with anything of substance to say. It is so bland, so by the numbers, so safe. And I think that's one of the worst things about it too. It's the worst thing a satire can be, is fucking safe or predictable. And this thing is unpredictable, but in the worst way. The punchlines are fucking nonsense. I don't know what the fuck I expected, but I can't lie, I am a little bit disappointed because I did have some fucking interest in this one, but yeah, no, it just sucked my balls. I'm so low energy after this. They sucked me. The vampires sucked me, my guy. Fucking Vampire Suck gets a 2 out of 10 as well. It's about as bad as Epic Movie. I don't think it's egregiously worse or anything, but yeah, I have literally nothing to say about this fucking movie. It was just stupid, and the only thing it did was reignite mild nostalgia I had for the Twilight movies from when I was a child. And that's not enough. It's not enough. Sorry, Vampires Suck. But you suck! Okay, so Vampires Suck marks a very important time in the history of me with these spoof movies, because right around this time, I started to develop, not an actual brain, because I was still a child, but, I started to be able to tell when I didn't like something, or I thought something was shitty, or I thought it was boring, or bad, or not funny. This is where that part of my brain began to kick in. So while there were more spoof movies that came out for the next few years, this is basically where I jumped off the train, because, like I said, even as a kid, I was like, oh, man. Oh, brother. So this guy stinks. That's so those are all the ones I have emotional attachment to. But I did pay attention to movies that were coming out afterwards, including the final one on our docket, The Starving Games. This movie is so fucking bad, dude. It's so boring. All the jokes are so fucking cringe. The makeup is really bad for fucking some reason. The pacing is atrocious. It's so fucking long. It's about as long as the actual fucking Hunger Games, dude. The acting is fucking horrendous. This movie is such a bad time, dude. And again, what am I supposed to say about this? There's something of substance here? There's nothing. This movie sucks. It's called The Starving Games. Haha, get it? Cause hunger, hungry? Oh my God! So fucking bad. Follows the events of the first Hunger Games movie, but cringe. That's my entire summary. That's all this movie gave me nothing, dude. Fucking 1 out of 10. I literally didn't even have an emotional attachment to it. This movie sucks my wiener. Spoof movies. Okay, I think I can see where they went. These movies got really, really bad really, really quickly. And, I mean, who on earth is this supposed to be surprising to? What fucking dipshit studio executive was like, hey, what if we make Twilight, but funny? But not funny. And the boardroom goes wild. I don't know, man. I can see why these things disappeared, to be honest with you. But I did have a fun time watching them. And I don't know if that's because of nostalgia or because it just allows me to think about these different times. But I did have a good time, at least with these first 3. Seriously, The Starving Games was fucking awful. I could barely fucking finish. I could barely finish that shit. But if any of these seemed interesting to you, I would definitely say they're at least worth a watch, because oh my God, the amount of pure fascination I got from this project was really something else. These movies are really, really bizarre in really particular ways. So, I mean, I can't say, like, there's nothing here. Nothing for me. That's fucking sure as shit. I never want to watch these again. Well, maybe Scary Movie 1. Scary Movie 1 represents the best of a bygone era. This is the Airplane of our generation. Oh, God. Anyway, that's basically all I got. Are there any spoof movies you think I should check out that are actually pretty good or are also just fucking terrible that I should suffer through? Because I will. Let me know if you want me to do another one of these videos. This was pretty fun, so I am open to it. Thank you for watching, my ladies, and to a much lesser extent, my gentlemen. And I'll see you guys next time. More stuff to come, always. Well, until I die, but okay. Anyway, thanks for watching.